Hi, it's Lucy, and today I'm here to do a book haul. This is a book haul a long time in the making. I'm calling this my winter book haul, but this also includes some of fall. Last year I was trying to do quarterly book hauls, except I didn't do the last quarter of the year book haul, and then I planned to do it in January, and then I got off schedule, and all of this to say, now it's April and I'm doing a book haul. This includes books I've received since the end of September, October. This is every book that I've received since then, so it's a lot for me. I'm sure other people have much larger book hauls, but this is a lot for me. And I also include e-arcs that I get in my book hauls because in the olden times, my book hauls used to not be that big, so I figured I could talk about ebooks and things that I get. I haven't bought any ebook, and I am on a journey to reduce the number of books on my TBR. So I have been keeping track of the books that I acquire. I use a book buying budget. I've explained it before, but basically I'm allowed to buy 3 books for every 1 book. Arcs and stuff count a little differently, but they still count. And I give myself points based on the books that I'm acquiring. I'm reaching for my bullet journal. Right now, I will tell you how I'm doing. The answer is really bad. I have negative 14 physical points and plus 0.5 ebook points. So I need to read 14 of my own physical collection to be balanced. And I am overbalanced on my ebook collection because I don't buy any ebooks, and the only ebooks that count are arcs that I get because I've decided to count them in my budget, because this budget isn't about money, it's about the number of books that I'm acquiring, and the answer is too many still. It's not as many as it used to be, but it is more. I just want to read more books off of my TBR. But anyway, this isn't about this. You came to hear about the books that I have gotten, and so I will tell you them. These books are not in any particular order because I can't remember the order that I got them in, honestly. I do remember a little bit, but not as many, so I'm just going to be pulling them up, and I'll just tell you a little bit about them if I know a lot about them, or whatever I feel like, you know? Okay, so the first book that I got was Children of Virtue and Vengeance by Tomi Adeyemi. I bought this because the first book was one of my favorite books of ever and was my favorite book of 2018. I did a whole reading vlog on this book. If you want to see more of my thoughts on it, spoiler alert, I was disappointed. But yeah, I bought it. And like I said, this is the second book in the Children of Blood and Bone trilogy, Atomic Habits by James Clear. I bought this after I had already read it, so it doesn't count for like my budget or anything. It doesn't count plus or negative because I read it before I owned it. And yeah, I just bought a copy of this because I decided I wanted to reread it and also maybe look back on it in the future. And this is a self-help book about forming habits and how forming a little habit can lead you to form bigger habits and how you can really turn your life around that way. Next, some of the arcs that I acquired. These arcs are arcs that I have already read and reviewed in various wrap-ups and on Goodreads. And so these are Shadow of the Batgirl by Sarah Kuhn. This is a one-shot Batgirl story that retells the story of Cassandra Cain. Of Curses and Kisses by Sandhya Menon. I just recently read this. I read this during the Bookie Trials, and I talked about it in that vlog that I did. So if you want to hear more about it, you can check out that vlog. And this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling with some fantasy elements. I'm still unsure about it, but yeah, I didn't love it, but I can see why other people did. The Hand on the Wall by Maureen Johnson. This is the 3rd book in the Truly Devious trilogy. I really enjoyed the trilogy as a whole. I can't really tell you the synopsis for this, but the basic synopsis for this story is that it's a dual timeline mystery story that takes place at a boarding school, and in the past timeline, 2 people are kidnapped, and it's like a huge news story because they are part of a important wealthy family, and that mystery is never solved. And then in the present day timeline, we follow a character whose thing is to try and solve mysteries, and she wants to solve that mystery, who kidnapped those 2 people. Now we are entering books that I have not read yet. First we have Broke Millennial Takes on Investing, A Beginner's Guide to Leveling Up Your Money by Erin Lowry. This is a self-help book about what it sounds like. I don't know if it's good or not because I haven't read it yet, but I never read Broke Millennial, which is the first book Erin Lowry wrote. She runs a financial blog website thing called Broke Millennial. I first heard about her because I follow a YouTube channel called The Financial Diet, and she was a guest host on the channel, and I liked her. I like money books that are like geared towards millennials, if that makes sense. I didn't want to read her first book that much because I do kind of feel like I have a handle on my financial life, which I feel like is why I like these financial things so much, because it's easy when you're already doing it fine. But I don't know a lot about investing, and one of my goals this year was to to invest, because I know I'm in a place that I can do that, but I just don't know what I'm doing. So I feel like I want to learn more, and this seems like it's my speed of learning how to invest, because the internet is full of resources, but not all of them are like succinct. And the things that are directed towards people my age are more about like getting your money together, figuring out how to like save and stuff. And personally, I'm not past that, but I'm in a place where I don't need that anymore. So I want to try and level up, as she says. So I'm looking forward to reading this. Hopefully I'll be reading it over the next month or so, because if you can afford it, now is apparently a good time to invest. Don't take my word on it. I just gave you a whole spiel about how I don't know anything about investing. So it's just what I've heard. Next, let's do the rest of my e-arcs, and then we'll do my physical arcs, and then we'll do physical books. Then we'll do my physical arcs / books that I got for review, and then we'll do books that I bought. So the rest of the arcs that I have received so far this year: When You Were Everything by Ashley Woodfolk. This, I'm supposed to be reading it this month. Hopefully that happens. This follows a friendship breakup between two girls, and it is what it sounds like as far as I know. And it sounds really interesting because there are not that many books about friendship breakups, and I'm looking forward to reading that. Brown Girl Ghosted by Minty Daz. I did not look up the synopsis before doing this video, and so I don't really know what it's about. I think it's about witches. I think I also made that up though. So it looks cool. Here's the cover. And the last arc that I have is A Song Below Water by Bethany C. Morrow. This is about mermaids, black mermaids, and so that's what got me into reading this. I don't remember the synopsis for this either, but black mermaids, and it's like set in like an urban fantasy setting, I think. Next, I have two physical arcs that were not actually sent to me for review. My sister has access to advanced readers copies because of her work, and so she sent me a couple that she thought I would be interested in. One of them I'm more interested than the other, but we'll see what happens. So the first one is Little Family by Ishmael Bia. This is about 5 people who have improvised a home in an abandoned airplane, a relic of their country's chaos. And then there is conflict between the people in the airplane. I'm not really sure. Like I said, had not heard of this book before, but the synopsis sounds real interesting. And yeah, this came out on, it comes out April 28th. And the other book she gave me was Just Breathe by Cami McGovern. This was on my radar already, but I didn't really know why. It says it's perfect for fans of 5 Feet Apart and The Fault in Our Stars. I did love The Fault in Our Stars when I was younger, never read 5 Feet Apart. I'm not really interested in that. But this one follows 2 teenagers. David Scheinman is the popular president of his senior class battling cystic fibrosis, and Jamie Turner is a quiet sophomore struggling with depression, and I guess it's a love story about them. Next are some books that I got from the publisher directly. These are both from Penguin Teen, so thank you so much to Penguin Teen, and I got them for review and to post on my Instagram, and both those Instagram posts are up if you want to check out my Instagram. First, we have The Fountains of Silence by Ruta Sepetys. Ruta Sepetys writes hard-hitting stories about historical events that are lesser known, and this one takes place right after the Civil War, and I believe it's a love story, and it sounds very interesting. Looks very long, but there's a lot of space on these pages. I don't know why I opened it up to chapter 96, but yeah, it looks real interesting, and I'm looking forward to reading it. And we have Dancing at the Pity Party by Tyler Fetter. This is a graphic memoir about the author dealing with her mother's battle with cancer and her mother's death after, and how the author deals with it, losing her mom so young because she was a sophomore in college, I believe. And I read like the first 2 sections of it. I don't know, are they chapters? And I really liked it. I put it down for no reason, really. I'm looking forward to reading it. I will definitely be finishing it up pretty soon because it is very short. And yeah, I'm really excited to have this. And it's really cute. I really like the author's art style. I started following her on Instagram. Last, I did not receive this from the publisher, but from the author herself, because she was running a giveaway on Twitter, and I happened to win, which never happens to me. So super excited about that. I received Now That I Found You by Christina Forrest. Honestly, I did not really know what this is about, but I did like, spoiler for the next book, the author's previous book, I Want to Go Where You Are, and I bought it. I really like this book, and so I was already interested in the author's next book, and I think I have already pre-ordered it, so I entered the giveaway for this. So I'm so excited to be able to get to read it early. This follows 18-year-old Evie Jones, who is poised to be Hollywood's next big star, which is following in the footsteps of her uber famous grandma. That is until a close friend's betrayal leads to her being blacklisted. So Evie's big master plan now is to have a public appearance with her grandma because she is so very famous. But then something happens and her grandma disappears. So now Evie has to find her. And so Evie enlists the help of the last person to see her grandma before she disappeared, Milo, who I believe is that, and they go on a wild manhunt across New York City. So it has lots of things that I love. New York City, cute romance, two things I love, and I'm looking forward to reading it. If it's anything like her other book, I will definitely enjoy this. But now to talk about this book, I think I've said everything. This follows a different girl named Chloe who wants to audition for a dance conservatory, but her mom forbids it. So when her mom is on vacation, she decides she's gonna go on a road trip to audition anyway. And I really enjoyed reading this. This is another book that I bought after I read it, so it didn't count for or against my budget anyway. Now we have two more books. Such a Fun Age by Riley Reid. Kylie Reid. Have I been saying her name wrong this whole time? I thought it was Riley. Oh no. I think I've talked about this like twice, like on Instagram, and wrote Riley Reid. Oh no. Okay, so it's by Kylie Reid. I have done messed up, but this is, what have I heard it described as? The inciting event for this story is that a white family, something ends up happening to their house, so they call their nanny to come and get their kid because it's the middle of the night and they have to deal with the police and they don't want their kid to be around for that. The nanny is a black woman and she was like at the club or like about to go to the club, and she tells the family that, and they're like, it's fine, we just don't want her here. So she comes, picks up the daughter, and they go in the grocery store and they're like having fun in the grocery store, but someone sees a black woman and a white little girl and they assume that something must be off, so they call the cops, and the nanny has to like justify why she has this kid, and it like is a whole mess. And that's like the inciting incident, but other reviews that I've seen of this book are like the book is more focused on the nanny's like life journey and how she doesn't really know what she's doing, and it deals with the white woman's like, I don't know, fragility, I don't know what to call it, and it just deals with a lot of topics. It sounds really good, really interested in it, and the world is interested in it. I think it was on, yeah, it was on Reese Witherspoon's book club. I did not know it was going to come with this fake sticker when I ordered it, but it is what it is. I'm looking forward to reading it. And the last book that I'm going to be talking about in this video is A Phoenix First Must Burn, edited by Patrice Caldwell. This is a short story collection by a bunch of black authors with 16 stories of black girl magic. I think it's mostly fantasy stories, so it might be sci-fi as well as fantasy. And yeah, it's short stories. A lot of the authors are like heavy hitters and people you probably heard of. Elizabeth Acevedo, Danielle Clayton, Ibby Zaboy, and some newer people that I haven't heard of, like Danny Lore and Elia Dawn Johnson. And I'm looking forward to reading it. Yeah, the back, I should look at the books that I'm holding up because the back literally says fantasy, science fiction, and magic. So yeah, but yeah, I'm looking forward to reading it. The cover is gorgeous. That's why I had to buy it. And I'm also working on supporting books before they come out by pre-ordering more because I want to. I realized I forgot a book when I was filming before. Still the same day because I realized pretty fast. The last book is The Queen's Assassin by Melissa De La Cruz. I have recently acquired this. This was also from Penguin Teen in exchange for review / Instagram post. Tucker is joining me. You sit, you stay, you don't step on my computer. And yeah, I've talked about this I love getting cat hair in my lipstick. I talked about this very recently in my April / Owls TBR, so check that out if you want a synopsis. But yeah, I wanted to show that I got this book so that I could declare every book that I own as hauled, and I can start fresh for my next haul. Those are all the books that I have to talk to you guys about in this video. Thank you so much for sticking with me. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any opinions about any of the books that I have recently acquired, not really recently, it's been like 6 months since I've last acquired some of these, but you know, that are in this book haul, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what was the book that you most recently acquired and if you're excited to read it, or I imagine you're excited to read it because you bought it, but you know, you never know. Let me know. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe to my channel because I make more videos where I talk about books. Hit the notification bell so you can be notified whenever I post a video, and follow me on my social media. I now have a second channel if you're interested in hearing me talk about things that aren't books. And that's it for this video. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.